I think we're live, gentlemen.
We are live.
Hey guys, how you doing?
If you see 5 boxes on your screen and you've been drinking, it's normal.
Sober or either way, 5 is correct. So
5 is good. 5 is good.
That's fine.
Right,
that's fine.
I'll start off. I'm Brian, Arrowhead Garage, working on a 67 Pontiac Firebird 400. And the guy this way,
this guy here,
that guy,
that guy,
that guy.
Yeah, it's John, Vinyl Village Garage, because that's the coolest name I could think of. I got a 68 Fire Turd convertible in the progress. So, but all the sheet metal work's just about squared away. But I'm hanging out on the back porch to check out, get better reception. So that's what we're doing today.
And then that guy way over there,
that guy,
that way.
I'm Mike from Lake and Large Garage. I'm working on a 67 Firebird, just finishing it up. Actually, just got it inspected today. Took it to the pub for the first time.
Yeah, I saw that video. You driving it.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That was real cool.
Yeah, it came out good. I'm pretty happy with it. And then we got
Louie down there.
Louie.
Louie from First Generation Garage. Working on a couple of birds at the same time, and also the bird cage. So I'm pretty busy, but Lady Bird is coming out good. Is my main focus right now, and I'm up to wiring.
And then Al, the new guy.
Sorry guys, I lost you. Somebody was actually calling me in my I lost you guys.
Oh, amateur.
Listen, anyway.
We don't have friends. We don't have that problem. So
Introduce yourself, Al.
I'm Al from Keep It Simple Garage. I basically do what these guys do. I work on first gen cars. I'll work on anything actually. Mustangs. I got a Mustang in paint now, but I just finished up a '69 Camaro, and they're pretty much the same. Firebird, first gen Firebirds and Camaros. So you guys invited me on here, and thank you.
You betcha.
Yeah, Ma, you could go now. They seem like they're okay.
Nice.
They're harmless, Mom. They're harmless.
They're
harmless.
Yeah.
All right, so Gus is with us tonight. Lonnie Kisser. I guess he's a friend of Al's.
I have so many friends.
See, we don't. We have like 2 friends.
No, you do. Believe me, you have a lot more friends than you think.
We're all here right now. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Louis asked me a while ago, to join you guys, and I just been so busy, and I'm sorry. But I thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. And James is here as well.
All right. Okay.
We're 31 people deep tonight.
nice.
Well, dadgum, mine won't refresh. So I got nothing. So
Son of a botchy.
yeah, I know.
Daniel Scott, Mr. Daniel Scott, did you get your shirt yet, sir?
I hope he did.
'Cause I had new shirts made and printed and mailed this week, so I want to make sure everyone gets them.
Ah.
Where do you guys get your shirts?
Teespring.
Nice.
Or is it just spring now? I think it's just spring now.
Yeah, it's changed names 3 times since we've been doing this.
Really?
Yeah.
Jason here from Over Speed Shop.
I'll touch base with you guys later on that.
Yeah.
And actually, I've been helping Brandon, the son-in-law, use I can't think of it now. I think it's what the hell's the name of it? I had not tipped my tongue, I was gone. And I really like how it integrates, like it will tell me or tell him when someone buys a shirt and who it was and what they bought. Where Teespring just says someone bought a shirt.
It doesn't say who or nothing, so I can't say who bought what. So.
Exactly. So I may dabble in that next week.
Wow.
Shoot the dog.
I don't know whose dog that is.
Oh my.
So Mike, you took your car for a ride.
Yeah, lit it up.
What is it? What is it? Like I said, I'm just catching up to you guys. What is the car?
So basically, it's a 67 convertible Firebird resto mod. I put a 6.2 liter blueprint engine in it, LS3.
Oh, nice.
And 6-speed transmission. And it was everything I hoped it was so far. I got it inspected today and took it on its first ride to the pub. It was nice.
Oh, awesome. Beautiful car. You took it to the pub. Beautiful car.
Yeah. So it's coming along.
Very nice. Louis too. I saw you working in the birdcage over there.
Yes, yep. I'm pretty busy. That bird cage is coming out nice. I bolted down the lift today. And
nice.
looks, yeah, everything's coming out great. I'm really happy.
Oh, beautiful. It's coming out nice. It
Yep.
really is.
A little jealous about the bird cage, have to admit. A little jealous.
Why?
All that room and a lift.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that just means you got more stuff to manage. That's all that turns into.
More headaches, Brian. More headaches.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The more room you have, the more stuff you pack in it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's crazy. It's funny.
Hey, Louis. Go ahead, Al.
I'm sorry, Louis. You asked me about the lift, and I never bought this lift to use it. I had no intentions to use this lift to work on it. I bought this just to make this 2-car garage a 3-car garage. And
okay.
Now it's just so handy. I can't not use it now. I'm feeling pretty spoiled.
Smoke if you got them, kind of thing.
Exactly. You're 100% right.
So Louis, James says thanks for the heads up on the paint. James
yeah, you're welcome, James. He did a great job. He shared some pictures with me. John saw that paint and in person because John comes here to visit me. But that paint, let me tell you something. A lot of people sometimes get caught up that it has to be an automobile paint. No, it don't, depending what you're painting, of course. And let me tell you something, it's tough as nails. It looks great. It lays down nice. I'm going to make a video soon because I'm putting the nose on Lady Bird, the whole front sheet metal. So I have to do the inner fenders, the inside of the fenders, the core support, so many things to paint. I'm going to be using that paint and I will show it on my channel.
Is it that stuff from True Value you had me buy?
Ace.
Yeah, Ace.
Yep, it's Ace brand paint. And I'm going to share the mixture and everything. I know I shared with Brian. I shared with a couple of people already because they was interested in the paint. But it's great. I mean, like I said, I have used it for many, many years. Even my 67 Firebird, on top of the floor and everything, I paint with that. The firewall, I also do the firewall with that paint. It comes out great. And it lasts for a long time.
I like the
now
stuff
you're going to put you're converting Camaro fenders over on this one, right? You said you were going to put.
You see what the problem is that the Camaro guys like to turn my birds into Camaro. So I like to twist their arms and buy their fenders and make it into birds.
There you go. Turnabout's fair play.
Yeah, they pluck my wings, so I make wings out of them.
Let's see, Mike from Mesa's joining us, and Bowtie Classic says, "Hey Al, the rallies were 100% the right choice."
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Who else? Oh, Foster's here. And
he's going to his first car show. So.
And then,
how's the Firebird thing you went to, John?
Oh,
what's
Firebird Fest?
The Firebird
it
Fest.
rained again,
Did it
like
really?
it always rains every
Storms.
year. But it went pretty good. There were some storms. The tornado went through, typical bird fashion. But no, we survived. No cars are damaged. No one was hurt in our group, so happy about that. But good turnout. Good. I wished we would see more first-gen birds, everybody listening and watching. That includes all my friends here.
Next year, I'm in.
250 plus cars, and only 15 are first-gen cars. So
only 15?
Wow.
Yeah, we need more. More.
I might have to buy one.
Yeah,
I might have to get a Firebird.
Just put Firebird stickers on. Nobody will know.
Nobody will know. Yeah, I'll wrap it.
Yeah, it went pretty good. I plan to go next year. I'm going to try to rally a bunch of people, get more involved, and letting people know I'm going to be there. Tell Brian he has to go. Mike's got to go. Louis, you better go.
All nice cars. They're all beautiful cars. They really are.
Yeah. I need more drivers.
Yeah.
You got too many cars. You got too many cars.
Louis have his own little parade driving to St. Louis.
I know.
I love a parade.
You park your cars on your lawn, everybody just thinks it's a car show.
Once Louis' kids grow up, they can all drive for him. just
Hey,
figure it out.
that's true.
Yeah, each of them have a car. Yep.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. Nice. Hey, I got a question for you guys. It's a technical question.
Okay.
67 Firebird.
Hmm.
Is that the same inner fender well as the 67 Camaro?
No.
No.
Okay.
They can be.
You can modify a Camaro to make it a Firebird, but not the other way around.
I'm gonna show
Okay.
that. I'm gonna show it soon. Really soon.
The reason why I ask is because in 1967, a 67 Camaro and a 69, the 67 on the driver's side, it's longer. Excuse me, it's shorter. The cutout where the shock drops down through. In 68, they extended that cutout because they staggered the shock, so they need to extend the cutout. And I was just curious if Firebird did the same thing.
Are you talking about on the rear or the front?
No, on the back. Like if let's say you're standing on the driver's
Yeah, they're
side,
different.
staring
Yeah,
at the
okay,
tires.
sorry.
Yeah,
I thought
no,
you were
if you're-
talking about front. So
Yeah, no, if you're standing on the driver's side looking at the inner fender well,
yeah,
on a 67, it's you'll see that like it's almost like a
Yeah.
box cutout where the shock is.
Yep.
68, they extended that further back. You can use a 67 for a 68 and a 69. You just got to extend it. I was curious
Right.
if the Firebird was the same thing.
yeah, same thing on the fire. I misunderstood. I thought you were talking about the front for some reason. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
The 67.
Oh no, they're
Was-
totally different in the front.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
67, they made the staggered shock was a 68, 69 thing.
Yeah.
Frame rail's different, trunk floor is different, fender well's different. And it's
Yeah.
all the left side. So yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
I was
Yeah.
curious. Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to change the subject on your cars.
No.
Yeah, leave it up to a Camaro guy to deviate from the Firebird.
Well, like you said, there's a lot of similarities. When I built my
There is.
Trans Am, that's why I call it the Trans Marorado. It's a Trans Am with Camaro parts and Firebird parts, or Silverado parts. The thing about it is the doors are essentially the same. But if you look up 69 Camaro door versus 69 Firebird door, they were cheaper. So I was like, well, it's the same thing. So I did a lot of that stuff. I just. Even like the floor pan, same stuff. Inner fender well, same stuff on the back. Trunk floor, same. So there's a lot of stuff that's interchangeable. So
Yeah, there is. There really is. I always thought the Firebird to me was more of a plush car. Like the body, I thought they just added a lot of bells and whistles on it, which really made it nice. The front end, the nose, and everything like that.
Mhm.
I always liked them. I always leaned towards the Camaro because the Camaro to me, it always seemed like it was cheaper to build than
it
the
is.
Firebird.
Yeah.
It is actually. And even from the word go, if you put an equally equipped Firebird next to a Camaro at a dealership, the Firebird sold for more. It was not the cheaper car.
No,
Now,
I know.
in the world of today's society, though, equally equipped Firebird versus Camaro, the Camaro sells for more. So there's just more of a following. So I hate to admit that, but it's just what it is.
No, listen, look, we're all friends here. It's
Oh, I'm not. Yeah.
And didn't we discuss last time it was what 3-1 Camaros built
Sold. Yep.
Yeah.
or sold? Yeah.
Yeah. Out of all the cars I bought very few Firebirds. Very few. I bought some Pontiacs. One of the nicer cars I had a really nice 69 dark green. Well, I told Louis I had that 400, that triple black car. But one of the probably, one of the nicer cars, you can actually get a nice deal on a Firebird. You really can.
Yep. Yeah, Mr. Waffle Stomp nailed it. Everyone knows Camaro because there were more of them out there. They were just everybody had the Camaro. The Firebird was more rare then, so it wasn't in your face. So that's why because that's the whole thing about what we're doing. It relives or brings back our youth or younger age. I'm talking about people like my dad. I'm not that old because I'm still very young, right? But I'm just saying the majority of people, they just want to relive a childhood memory or a younger year memory, and a lot of them are associated with Camaro, so it definitely helps drive those, or they're just more popular. So
well, I like them all, honestly.
Yeah.
So
I
James,
originally went looking for a Camaro because this again, I was before the time of the internet. I wanted a 69 Camaro. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was digging for. Then my coworker, being a Pontiac guy, goes, "You ever seen a 69 Firebird?" I'm like, "Absolutely not." So I went to this thing called a library, and I got a book out, and I saw that car. I was like, I don't want the Camaro. I want a Firebird. I had a hell of a time finding one that I could afford. So, but that's where it started for me.
Yeah, nice.
So
cars. They
James
really-
James Judkins had a really good question here that Jonathan or Louis could probably answer because I didn't do this, but I wondered this myself. On the 67 Bird front inner fenders, how do you all attach the rubber flaps to the inside with the staples?
Yeah, they
So
was
how
use
do you
they was
attach
use
those?
staples. So if
I've
you're not
got-
gonna if you're
Yeah.
not gonna use staples, I like to get paper clips and bend them to give
Yeah.
it like that staple effect.
The appearance. Yeah, I use
Yeah.
cotter pins or cotter pin I cut in pieces, about the bigger, same thing, bigger diameter, a paper clip, a heavy gauge paper clip. So either
Yeah,
one.
the heavy gauge ones. Yep.
Mhm. Or on some of my cars, I don't even bother putting them back on. I weld the hole shut and say forget them. So
I didn't put
You
them
don't need
on
no
there.
stinking flaps.
I donated
never
those to
happens.
L&L Pontiac.
yeah.
Couldn't be bothered.
Yep.
James says, what about the holes in new steel? I assume James is referring to the fenders or the
Yeah. So basically, what he's asking is, if you have new inner fender wells, how do you install those staples?
Oh, gotcha.
You drill holes and then drill holes and push them through and bend them over. But I'm
Correct.
assuming the factory had a real staple gun for that.
Oh, it
sort
was
of thing.
staple. Yeah, they'd staple to the
Yeah.
roof, the vinyl tops right to the roof of
Yeah.
the car.
I have a
Staple those flaps in there.
I have a 69 Firebird that was like really original car. I even found the build sheet in it. Is gonna be my Trans Am tribute car, my next build. And inside the inner fenders still has all of that.
Wow. Yeah.
It's amazing. You know, most of the time they're missing.
It's gone.
Yeah.
They've rotted away. They've been ripped off because somebody did some suspension work and they just got angry and just tore them
And
off.
also in the inner rack support too, they have them.
Wow. I don't know about
Yeah.
you guys. I'd much rather take a car, you know, to buy a car that's already, like, let's say somebody takes a car apart and you buy it from them. I'd rather buy the car before they even touched it.
Oh, don't cut it
Yeah.
out.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
just because
Versus
everything's
a
where it needs to
basket
be.
case. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had that trouble, Al, when I was putting this back together. Most of it was apart when I got it, and I had never seen one before. So I'm tapping these three guys, saying, "Hey, how does
Oh,
this
yeah.
go together?" You know, sending up the old bird signal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
What's
yeah.
this do?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, what the hell? I had a whole segment on what is this part?
Yeah, I remember Mike, I think, was gonna throw away the headlight buckets,
Oh, no.
the bracket.
Yeah.
And I had
the
to reach out to him. Don't do that. They don't even reproduce it.
Yeah,
Not for
Don't throw it
67 or 8. No.
Yeah.
the
Don't
back
throw it
plates.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, when I picked up my bird, I had no clue about Firebirds, and I knew I was missing stuff, but what I was missing, clueless. And that's how I started reaching out to John and figuring shit out that way. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah. If
Now,
you
my
take it
car
apart,
had-
at least you know.
my car had carpet and no shifter for it.
Mhm.
And I'm looking like, is it a column shift? And pulled up the carpet and the transmission's there, but my brother just never installed the shifter.
No
Didn't
kidding.
even have one. I had to go get one from L&L Pontiac in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Yep.
oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's been a fun struggle. I have to admit that. It has
yeah,
been
but it you know, it's rewarding though. I mean, you have to sit there and go through the books and figure out how things go together, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know,
yeah.
it's now you know.
It doesn't hurt to mark things either. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not good about it. There's a corner of my garage. I literally take the piece off, throw it, and it goes in the pile. And then I go, I need this piece. I know, and then I go sandblast it, media blast it, paint it, put it back on. But for the most part, I just don't do it. But I'm going to say, if you're not taking a bunch of them apart, it's not a bad idea to mark this stuff.
So what you're saying is you take everything and you throw it in the corner, and as you're working on the car, you just dig through the pile.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a cardboard box, and then it falls apart, and then it kind of dumps on the floor, and then that's
It's-
what I do. So
Reverse chronological order.
yeah,
I'm so glad I'm not the only one that does that. I'm
Hey.
so glad.
Yeah. Started raining on me, so I had to move. So
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Well, I can tell you that the roofs for the 67 Bird and Camaro are the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don and I had to weld one of those damn things on. So
Yeah.
those
Looks like
things
a fender,
were-
though.
I didn't hear you, John.
It looked like a fender, the first one.
It was a fender, if you remember.
Oh,
The truck
What
pulls
happened?
up. I'm all ready for my fender because I'm waiting for John. And the guy hands me a fender. And I'm like, nope, that's not what I need.
Supposed to be a roof panel.
Look at this paperwork and
you guys just reminded me of something. Where do you get your parts? Like, let's say you got to get a fender or a door or whatever. Is everything shipped, or is there a place that you can go actually pick it up?
For me, it's shipped. I don't have any
Yeah.
place local anymore, so I have to play the game of who's the best price and who's got it in stock. I play that game all the time.
Yeah.
And shipping is always a concern. I mean, you can get killed. Like, I'm in the opposite end of the country from Classic Industries, and I would get whole pallet loads of stuff from them. I mean, the glass in this thing cost me more to ship it than it was for the glass.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's
So,
crazy.
just silly stuff like that. But I'm lucky. I have a Ames Performance is a strictly Pontiac place, but they're just down the road from here. Even if I have them ship it, it's super cheap.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I got.
I go to my shed or my attic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot of parts.
Oh,
You
no.
have a lot.
Oh yeah, a lot of parts. Oof.
No kidding.
He does.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you see, that's why you have to have that other garage back there now.
There you go. Now you got it. You got
see,
it
right?
now.
You see, look, it's
Yeah.
he needs it, but it's funny. That's one of the reasons, because I got two suppliers, and one, like you see that guy one's Muscle Car Headquarters, and the other one's New York Wrestler Mod, and they're literally like 15 minutes in either direction. But Muscle Car Headquarters, if I call him up I could call him right now and say I need bumpers for a '69 Camaro. He'll drop them off in an hour.
Wow.
Really?
It's
Drop 'em
amazing.
off.
He drops everything off to me.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
literally
true.
sit here-
Yeah. If you check out his videos, he gets them quick.
I get him within, and listen, I know how fortunate I am. I'll even take a picture of something, and I'll take a picture of a glove box door, and I'll send it to him in stock. Be there in 20 minutes.
Wow.
It's crazy. So
Where do you
I
live,
was
Al?
just curious, huh?
Where do you live, Al?
I live on Long Island.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
So, yeah, so it's I'm really, really fortunate that I got these guys so close to me. That's why I'm able to get these cars done so fast.
Yeah, I do a big bulk order. I mean, I'll do an assessment, like my dad's car. I tore that thing apart. I had a good feeling for what I needed, but I found a few more pieces. And I ended up buying it all from Summit, and it was quite a hefty bill. But I bought everything that I thought I was going to need that was going to need to be truck shipped, and they actually hooked me up on a price on bulk shipping. Still a little spendy. I think it was like $300 or $400 for shipping, but all things considered, that wasn't bad. So
That's not bad. That's really.
I've heard
not bad
horror
at all.
stories like $1,000 just to ship a hood. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like I said, I'm fortunate. My parts guys are like, listen, now we're putting a big sheet metal order in. Is there anything you need? And,
Yeah.
I could tag on there, and I save on the shipping and everything. But like I say, I know how fortunate I am. I'm lucky.
Mhm.
I was just curious. That's why I asked you guys. I was just curious as if you guys had local guys or if you were ordering. If you got like a whole list up and you just ordered everything at once.
Yeah. I try to bulk ship just to save money on shipping. But the flip side is you got to store that crap until you put it on. So it's
Yeah.
Take it over to Louis.
If it was a quicker drive, I would, but that's just too far. So.
That's a 4-day drive for me.
Oh man.
I gotta go pick up
most
my
of the
ass.
time
I'll be back in 4 days.
Yep.
Most of the time it is just shipping. You got to do the research, do the ordering, figure it all out. I think my dog gained weight. The UPS guy was here so often giving him treats. Yeah.
Well, to go back to that, the hood or the hood for the Bird, I was going to buy from, I think it was Firebird Central, but the cost of the hood plus the shipping, it was like almost the same price of the hood. And I think it was John that said go to Jags.
Yeah.
If you spend more than $199, free shipping.
It used to be free shipping because they had a glitch in their system. Even truck freight, they were shipping the stuff for free.
Yeah.
But they caught on. They figured.
Yeah, they caught on. Yeah. I used to order stuff like that. Even like exhaust systems and stuff like that. A lot of my stuff I'll get from Jags or Summit, like an exhaust system. And I remember, I remember a while ago, I used to get those kits for like $170.
Oh
yeah, 150. I used to buy them for 150.
Yeah, Camaro induction hoods I used to get for $175. I'd buy 5 at a time. It was crazy. But yeah, I just figured I'd ask you that question because I was curious because you know, I'm like, man, if I don't have this guy next, you know, right around the corner, I'm like, I don't know how I get it done, you know. Cost effectively anyway.
I'm reading in the comments some of the horror stories about shipping. They get their parts and it's mangled.
Oh yeah. My rear tail panel, I should have returned it, but I checked the edges. I didn't think about checking the whole thing. So I'm making it work, but I'm working for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Bop Pop says, Al, good to see you on the channel.
You know, listen, I'm just happy to be here. Like I say, you know, you guys seem like a good group of guys, and you know, my mom waited by the door to make sure I was okay, and I let her know she left. All right.
Who are these hooligans you're hanging out with there, Al? Who are these weirdos?
They drive Firebirds. They might be weird.
My parts guy is a huge Pontiac guy.
Yeah.
Big Pontiac. He's got a Pontiac. I was telling Lou, he's got a Trans Am. You know, he's got some really neat stuff. He really does. You know, and he he's just, you know, it's one of those guys. It's like Louis. You know, Louis got so many. Which car do you drive, Louis? I mean, it's like
I sometimes just pick and choose, or I let the kids pick, and then I go.
Oh, okay. Well, the white one or the red one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I got it.
That's got to be a real problem, Louis. I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, no. You know, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
First world problems, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry that has to happen. It's just.
You know, I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. When I started in the Firebird world, my first Firebird was an '89 T-top car, and then I did my research on Firebird. When I saw the '67, the very first year, I fell in love with it. I said I have to have one. So about 2 years of owning the '89, which was my first car, I bought the '67. And that one is the school for me. John knows that if there's any Firebird I'll get rid of, it won't be that one. That one will stay with me because it taught me everything. I did my first metal work there, my wiring, everything, all the mechanic work I did. It was my first rodeo, right?
Oh, there you go.
But I look in the bird cage whenever I go there, almost every day, and I can't believe, you know, that I have come this far of not just owning them, but restoring them myself. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just knowing them as well as you know them.
Yeah. I mean, and I give a lot of grace and thanks to God because without him, I don't, you know, we won't be doing none of this. But I'm very grateful for what I have.
Could you imagine the guys back then putting these cars together, not realizing they had the best job in the world?
I know, right? Oh, my God.
Yep.
And they didn't deal with rust.
No.
You know,
No.
unless it was a Ford Mustang, because they rust on the assembly line. And I'm a Ford guy. Listen, nothing against Ford guys. Nothing. I have one. I'm putting one together. But man, those cars, man, on a damn day, you know, they struggled a little bit. You know.
Oh yeah.
So. But
they weren't designed to last more than 3 or 5 years was the original concept. So
yeah. But you know, even these cars. I mean, these first gen cars. I mean, honestly, did you think they'd be around as long as they are now? I mean,
they ain't meant to build them to last 50+ years, but they did.
They did. Yep.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yep.
Yeah, they really did. So, well, guys like you and stuff, keeping them going. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty sick. You know, we buy the cars that nobody wants to touch, and we bring them back. So.
Well, no, John, hold
broken
on
in half, John.
No, hold on. Okay, you know, I thought about this for a while. You know, it's like the reason why we buy those busted up, broken cars is it's what I can afford, and I know because you know your talent, so you know what you can make that car look like.
You're 100% correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
so your opportunity to buy cars is much greater than the guy that doesn't even know how to weld or do body work or anything. So you got a bigger pool of cars to pull from.
Oh, right. A little more choice because everyone else is going to pass up on them, and that's okay with me because I know exactly what I'm buying. We've said this 100 times, so I'd rather buy that junker in pieces or rust it out.
That's right.
I know what I'm buying. So.
Yeah, I'm really not interested in buying a primo car. It's just what fun is that, you know?
Yeah.
Hey Louis, so you had a '79 Firebird T-top?
1989.
Oh, okay.
Baby blue. all the girls was going crazy for me because they wanted to ride in the car. It was a beautiful car, man.
Did they think you were Burt Reynolds? Maybe you were Burt Reynolds or something. They
Yeah, I
thought-
was like 20. I was like 19 years old, 20. My first I was about that age. It was my first car.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could just see. Yeah, Bert, I could see you with your cowboy hat
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything in that thing.
Yeah. Talk to me, Snowman.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, Brian, when do you think you're gonna get paint on your car? That car's coming out really nice.
Hopefully by end of summer.
By end of summer.
So in Arizona, it's like 105.
Yeah, it's too hot.
And
don't
you know,
don't say it's a dry heat.
it is a dry heat. Like
Yeah.
3% humidity.
It is pretty dry. I've been there, but it's still hot as hell. It's like putting your head in an oven anyway. So
Yeah.
And I've taken a laser temp in my garage in the middle of July, and inside my garage 150 degrees.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
So as you spray
Wow.
paint, it dries, hits the car, and falls down.
powder. It's
Like
powder
baby
coating.
powder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Powder coating.
Holy cow. Well, you don't have to worry about overspray.
No, no,
Ooh.
no. It'll be
Wow.
dry before it hits anything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like painting lacquer, right? I remember the
Yeah.
first car I ever painted, I painted lacquer in the street in front of my house. And it was so hot out. No lie. Unless you were 6 inches away from that car, anything further than 6 inches, you could have went like this. And it would
It
have
was-
just
Not
in
even
your hand.
touched it.
Yeah, it was-
Nice.
I guess the heat had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So what color you paint your car?
Red, back to red, what my brother wanted.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very
Arrest
nice.
me red.
Wow.
The original color was like an autumn bronze type color, but not quite.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
like a blaze, something blaze. What was
Yeah,
it?
a copper blaze.
Copper blaze.
I
Yep.
think that's what it was. Yeah.
It was a special order color too, so it was an oddity. So
Wow. Wow.
But I'm leaving parts of it that original color, so that way, if in the future, if it's me or if I give it back to my niece, his daughter, that
Yeah.
if she wants to or somebody else wants to take it back to original color, there's that reference point to it.
There you go.
Yeah. There's a signature on that car somewhere.
There is a signature on that car. Big
Yeah.
signature on that car. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's getting cleared.
Oh man.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm very grateful for that signature that was on that
Oh,
car.
you
Is
went-
on that car.
That was a
You
good
went
time.
out there,
so-
right, John?
Yeah, oh yeah. I went out there and I've never done a roof panel prior to that. And I always thought I wanted to do one. And I said, well, heck, I'm crazy enough to jump on an airplane. So I just went to Arizona. We hung out for a couple, 3-4 days in the garage there playing cars. And it was one of the best times I've ever had. So it was definitely worthwhile.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That was great
Even,
that you did
even
that.
if he left the gas bottle on overnight.
Yeah,
Did you really?
I did. I didn't turn the gas bottle off one night and it leaked out. So
So we
you-
get ready to start welding the next morning, and the hell?
Nothing.
yep.
Do you have a place close by? or no?
Down.
Yeah, about 3 miles away. So we ran up there and got another bottle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the guy at the shop, Wayne, he wrote on an orange thing. I probably should take a picture of it, but it said, "Don't forget to turn off the gas, moron."
Yep. Yep.
All right. You know me, I'm a storyteller. All right. So I have the small bottle. What size bottle do you guys generally use? I have like it sits about 3 feet tall, I guess, maybe a 30-pound bottle or something, I'm guessing.
Yeah. It's considered a number 3, but that's about what you got. I think it is. So
Is what?
Yeah, we do them by letters. I think that's an S here. And I was doing those for a while and I was running out of them felt like every other day.
Oh yeah.
So I went
Oh, yeah.
I went to the next size up and it's been much better.
Oh, okay. I'm lucky. I got a place literally where I could walk to it. You know, that's how close I
Wow.
am here.
yeah.
So I'm telling you, I know how fortunate I am. I really do. But one day I'm sitting, and I usually coil it up at the end of the night. The next day when I go to weld, I always turn it off. John.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always turn it off.
I know.
So
I'm good about it normally.
No, so what happened was when I unraveled everything and plugged it in, it turned. I don't know how it did it, but it turned the valve up. Because I usually run it at around 8 pounds, right
Yeah.
around there. 8, 10. Yeah, it depends if it's windy out or whatever. If I have the fan blowing. So Saturday I filled the tank, turned it off. Monday I started working again. Maybe 15 minutes into it, I'm out of gas. I guess when I put the line and everything back on, it turned up the pressure. And dopey me not listening to it, it just was just purging it all out as I was using it. But they were nice wells. I'm not gonna lie, the wells were pretty nice.
So we have Mr. Peak in the comments. He says, I just test fitted a full floor pan and I'm stuck trying to muster up the courage to begin welding. What kind of encouragement can we give him?
Is it
68 Firebird Sprint.
Yeah.
What's holding it together right now?
Probably self-tapping screws.
Yeah, like self-tappers zip screwed in or something like that.
Yep.
I mean, if he's comfortable with everything all zip screwed, just walk around. I'm sure, John, you've done it 100 times. You just walk around 3 or 4 times before you build up the courage, and then you just.
Oh yeah, if everything's lining up, all your measurements are where they need to be, everything is where you like it, burn it in. You're ready to go.
Yeah.
The best advice I could give him is practice on sheet metal, any kind of extra sheet metal he has laying around. And once he has his welder where he wants it, where he feels comfortable with those because there's plug welds there, looking good and penetration is looking good, then go ahead and weld the car up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know a lot of welders will have the little chart on there for the certain thicknesses and all that. That hardly ever works for me. I always find I'm running a little hotter, a little different.
It's true. You have to learn it yourself.
On it.
I
put a piece of tape on my welder and I write what my settings are for sheet metal or structural steel, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So, it gets you close.
And it just reminds me
where you need to be.
Yeah, it gets you close, but.
Yeah.
So James asks, what size wire is Andre using, Mr. Peak? I know I'm using what? 035 wire, John?
I would probably an 030, I think. So.
030, yeah.
030 for me too. Yep.
I use
030
030
a good multi-purpose wire.
Yeah, I use 030 for structural and 025 for body for sheet metal.
Yep, 025 is great for body.
I'm 030 all the way because I'm too lazy to change it.
Me too.
Same thing, John. I do the same thing. And now, Louis, are you using gas or no gas now?
I don't use no gas. The only time I used gas was when I did metal work for a 67 GTO.
I saw that, yeah.
Because the guy supplied the gas. But no offense to nobody that use gas. I think Stevie Wonder could weld with gas. I think it's
there we go.
I think it's very easy. To me, it's very easy. I done it before. Oh my God. I mean, I ran through that GTO with a gas. Ping, 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 ping.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It really. I use one. I use the shielded for. It's got to be 20 some odd years. Mm-hmm. And then I was building a roll cage for the Nova that I built. I built a custom cage, and I'm like, you know what? Let me get the gas because, a million years before that, I used to use a gas welder. And then I stopped, and it was so much easier just to take that welder without the tank. You plug it in, and it's ready. It's plug and play. You just go. Yeah. The convenience of it's great, but the weld. Listen, I seen you weld with the shielded, and I have to say, it's pretty impressive. I'm pretty impressed with how well it comes out with that.
Thank you. John seen it in person.
Oh yeah, how is it, John?
I can't do it, so.
Yeah. Well, that's why I gotta get the gas. I gotta get the gas.
Right, I can't do it. I tried, but my first car I did it, and it was horrible. But then I got one with the shielding gas, and this is much better. So.
Yeah.
I do more gooder with that. So.
Okay, all right, I get it. Huh.
All right, so we've been rambling now. Of course, now we've got one Camaro guy and we have 4 Bird guys. We have looks like our audience or people watching is a good mix. A pretty
it does
split, actually. So now, obviously, we could go into this debate and really stir the pot, which is better. But I don't think we should ever ask that question.
Shut your mouth! Shut your mouth, Mom.
They both have their pros and cons, that is for sure. But I think they're both pretty cool in their own sense.
I agree with John. I'm grateful for the Camaro, and I tell you why. Because if it wasn't for Camaro, the Firebird wouldn't look what it looks. Because let's be honest, John DeLorean stole a lot of ideas from it. They told him he had to switch up some things on it. So that's why the nose is different and the tail panel in the back is different. And we got gills in different years and stuff like that. But I'm really happy about it. And let's be honest, if you like a Firebird, you have to admire a Camaro because they just look so much alike.
Yeah, there's a lot
If
of
you say you don't
similarities.
like it, you're lying. You know, it got to be something there that
Yeah.
treats you.
Yeah,
Yep.
100% right. You're 100%.
Yeah.
I don't have like I'm a first gen guy, but I like Mustangs, and everybody's like, you're crazy, Al, with Mustang. I like them. I can appreciate any old muscle car. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any car that I could look at and go, I would never own that car.
Right.
I can appreciate. Well, no, that maybe there might be one or two that I could say
Yeah.
about, but
There is.
Yeah.
But for the
Yep.
most part, I appreciate these old muscle
You ever-
cars.
You ever? Yeah.
You'll see a few cars roll through here, and they won't be first gen Camaros. They'll be Nova Chevelles, everything like that. I try to roll everything through these doors.
Yeah,
Most of
I
the
owned a '65 Mustang once, so that's all I'm gonna say.
That's okay. It's all right. Listen, we had this conversation earlier. I love Mustangs, and those things rust on a damn day, but I still love them.
But I just think about it. That '65 Mustang. That's why I learned how to do frame rails, trunk floors, floor pans.
Because it needed everything.
The car was a total wreck. I never finished it.
Sacrificial
It
lion.
was so bad, but I learned how to do so much stuff on it. It was worth it. But
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 They're pretty wild cars. But So, how far you get on your dad's Firebird,
man, I still got to do all the welding. I get everything all test fitted. It's all assembled. I mean, everything lines up really nice. I now just got to take it back apart and burn it together. So I'm hoping maybe tomorrow I'll get some of that done. But super happy with the fitment of everything. So
That car be painted by September. I bet on it.
I believe it. 100%.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Larry, that's exactly what I was thinking. The AMX Javelin that was unsafe anywhere.
How did we get on
No,
AMX
you know what?
Javelins?
On the comments
the
over
muscle
there.
cars
Check
we
out
would
the
never
comments.
own.
Oh,
No. You know what car was dangerous? The Pinto. That was a dangerous car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I was in getting the Firebird inspected today, and they had a bunch of old classic magazines in the garage, and it was an old Car and Driver, the Vega versus the Pinto from like 1972. I'm like, where the hell did he get this?
That's some battle royal right there, boy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Right. That's like an ugly baby contest right there.
Ouch, Mike. Ouch. Oh,
Anybody who has one of those cars, we are sorry.
man. The comments
I
on
gotta
this
go,
video
guys.
are each our own.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
John, you need a light.
Yeah, it's getting dark out here.
It's getting dark out there. What
Yeah,
time is it back there?
I don't. It's 8. Let's see, 9:15 or something around there.
Yeah.
9:13.
It's barely
Yeah.
6 here.
They shut your mouth. So,
Yeah, but it's 110, and you can't even be in your garage. So.
it's not raining, so that's a good thing. So.
And then I got these crazy guys that text me at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, it's not 6 o'clock.
What? Do you answer them back?
No,
Okay, so you're not crazy. I was gonna say if you answer them back, you're just as crazy.
no. My line of work, as soon as I get home, that phone goes on silent and it gets tossed on the side. I don't touch that damn thing until the next day. I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I was doing that wiring video at 2 o'clock in the morning this morning.
This guy.
And I once I'm ready for the thumbnail, I shoot him a text.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
And Louis, I have to admit, I did like the younger version of Louis.
Yeah.
Oh. You saw that picture good?
Took care of it real nice.
Yeah, I thought it looked good on you, but your skin was all nice and golden and perfect, and a little too much filter in there, I guess, huh?
So I've got a question, Jonathan, that you might be able to answer this.
Okay. Well, at least I'll fake it till I make it.
Well, it's just always been odd to me that all the GM products, the Oldsmobile, the Buick, the Pontiac, the Chevrolet, they all had extremely similar motor sizes.
Sure,
They all
like
had a
white
350. They all
455.
had a 327. They all had a 400. What was that? Why was that?
I don't
I mean,
know.
was-
It was the cubic inch war, I think, of some sort. Because Chevy
Yeah.
came with the 454, and Buick, Olds, and Pontiac said, "Oh yeah, we'll do 455."
55, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I don't really know why they had so many similarities because we all know the engines are extremely different.
Yeah, very different.
I mean, maybe the oil's the only thing that's interchangeable. That's about it.
Right, right. But
But
Right.
I
I
always
don't-
wondered if there was some factory mandate that said, these are the classes where I don't know. It just was very odd, like the 327s, the 326s.
Well, it's kind of
You know,
like when the GTO came to life, right? You couldn't put that big engine in a mid-sized car, so they had engine sizes probably restricted to cubic inch. So
Right.
I don't know this to be sure. It's just my theory. Once you ask, I'm kind of playing it out, but they had different sized engines for different sized vehicles, and they were all limited on the same across the board. So maybe that had an influence on the cubic inch, basically restrictions
Maybe.
for what they could use it for. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
but that
Yeah, I know Pontiac was kind of stepping out on that rule there when they were doing their dealer option engines and all that
Mhm.
stuff. And
Yeah.
maybe you're right. Maybe that's exactly what it was. They were mandated by GM to say, "Oh no, we got to have 350s maximum."
Yeah, well, like I said, for your little pony cars or F bodies,
351.
you couldn't have big engines in them initially, but the
Yeah.
GTO started out that way. Then of course you couldn't put the 455. I think that was in the 75, where they had it out there, but it was like all the good stuff came to an end though because it was the racing ban. So all that stuff that could have happened, never
Yeah.
did. So
Yeah.
Andre Peak has a good question. Any thoughts on rack and pinion? So I have a Corvette Camaro rack and pinion in this one. I really like it. It steers nice. It's responsive. My power steering pump sounds a little angry when it gets hot, but I have actually no issue with it. As long as the Ackerman's right and you can, it mounts up right. I think it's a good solution. But
yeah.
Hey, Mike, what tranny do you have in your car?
I have a T56 6-speed.
T56 6-speed?
Yeah, Tremec
Right.
T56.
And that's a hydraulic clutch.
Yep. Yeah,
Any
I've
luck with the
been
bleeding
struggling
of it?
with that. Yeah, I did get it. I actually did a thing on that this week. I had to bleed it again. I had a bubble up in the. I put a remote bleeder up on the
Okay.
firewall, and I had
Okay.
a bubble up in there. I had to work it out, and it bleeds strange. It's not like bleeding breaks. You literally have to dunk it in a cup full of fluid, open the valve, pump it a few times, push the air out, and then close it up while it's still under fluid. It's just strange. You can't.
No, my
I
buddy's
couldn't
doing
do
it now. Yeah, my
I
buddy's
couldn't do
doing
it
right
with a
now.
vacuum pump. Could not do it.
Hmm.
Nothing doing. So
Huh.
tell him to check that video out. That's ultimately the way I had to do it, and then it worked fine.
Yeah, I was curious. Yeah, Mr. Wilson, the guy that's always, I always bounce things off of him and stuff. And he's doing right now in a 67 Camaro. And you know what else he did too? Actually, I don't know if it's compatible. It's got to be compatible to the Firebird. He's doing one of those hidden wiper motors.
Yeah,
I
that's the
have
same
that too.
Cali. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that too.
Oh, you have that in your car now?
Yep.
How do you like
Yeah,
it?
I love it. I did a video on that too. Of course, this thing is never going to see the rain, but
You hope it
No.
never sees the rain, but if you go to Firebird Fest, forget about it. It's going to get soaked. So
no, it'll be in a trailer all the way out there. What are you talking about? Not unless the trailer
Boo.
leaks. We need a
Not
place
unless
to
the
hang out
trailer
and drink
leaks.
beer, John. Come on.
yeah, okay, true. Okay, fine.
We didn't all have
That's
those
nice.
big racing trailers just to call cars around, man. Those had purpose.
Ah,
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
like the Night Raider trailer has the lounge in the front. I get it.
Yeah, right.
I get it.
Hey, good idea.
So now what's
My wife's gonna hate you.
so what's going on now, guys? Like, you're not going to be doing a live on Friday, or what's happening with this?
Well, we were talking about it. It seems like in the summertime, people are, because the weather's perfect for most of the country, that's the time they work on their cars.
Yeah.
And so, like in the
Or they're
wintertime,
busy with
though,
family or whatever it might
Yeah,
be. All
yeah,
right.
and there's so many holidays like coming up and just busy schedules. So we talked about it. We're going to go to a monthly schedule for the summer. So like the next show we do will be July 11th.
Okay.
And then once the cools down a little bit and people start going back and, not working on their garages, because it's snowing outside, then we'll get back to a weekly format.
Yeah, I
Because
get it.
we don't know what snow is in Arizona, so
Yeah.
By
No,
the
man.
way, I got to say something. All right, and this isn't directed towards Louis. All right, Louis was the only guy who sent a picture of his car to me. Okay, all right, just so you know, listen, my feelings aren't hurt. I'm like a crash dummy. I don't have any feelings.
So
But I was kind of surprised I didn't see any one of your cars other than Louis up there.
So Al, every Friday he's gonna be putting pictures up on the end of his video on Friday of your project. He wants one, how you got it, and the before and after. That's what he wants.
Okay.
Before or after,
Oh,
what
I
it
could
is
do
and stuff
that,
like
Al.
that. I always say, it's like, because you see it, like, look, I see you guys. I watch your videos and stuff like that, and I see the cars that you have in there, and how many guys that are watching, how many projects do they have that are out there? So just show us the cars that you have. We're showing you our stuff. Show us the cars that you have.
Sure. Readers,
a lot of
yeah,
people would like
readers,
to
right.
see it. It's just an idea.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how many before pictures I have, but I do have a picture of like a pile of rust, which is very similar.
That's okay.
We could
okay.
use that for the before picture, and I can show you after. So
Yeah. It's like Toasty. That was I could have just taken a picture of a planter.
Yeah.
That's what it
All
looked
right,
like.
Al, I'll ping you and get your email address. I'll send you some.
Yeah, send it over and I'll post it on a Friday. I'll keep doing it as long as guys keep sending them in. I'll keep posting them. Hey, John 67 Firebird or Louis 68 Firebird.
Yeah.
That was a 68 that you sent me, right? Louis?
Yes, one of them. I could send you more.
No, listen, hold on a second. Wait 1 second. We gotta get something here right now. Listen, there are guys that have multiple cars, like Louis.
Right.
All right. Send me one. And then the following week, send me another. And then the following send me
one.
another.
Right. I'm gonna send you one for every Friday.
Yeah, you gotta. If not, it's gonna be Louis' car show. Going by.
Aye.
So
So
you
Richard,
can send it.
Yeah.
Richard, is it Doobie? I hope I'm pronouncing his name
Yes,
correctly.
you are. Yep.
He says the 326, 350, 400 Pontiac engines are supposed to be the same block.
Yeah.
Why is the 455 HO wider at the base for the oil pan? It wouldn't fit my 400 cart.
I have a 455 in my 67 Firebird. It fits perfect.
Huh.
And then Rich, he comes back with, and is it just the 455 HO standard or the 428 also?
Because I understood it, and I've never known anything different. 326 to 455 is the same blocks dimensions. The only block that was the only block that was slightly different was the Super Duty 455. They had redone some casting for dry oil, some whatever setup, and a couple other things, but I didn't think they were. It may be the Super Duty block is all I know is different.
That's what he said right there. It's a
Oh,
Super
I see
Duty.
it.
Came back.
Yep. The Super Duty block might be different, but an HO 455, 455, 326, dimensionally the same. On the outside, if you buzzed off I guess you say the cubic inch stamping or the casting on the side, they would look 100% the same. Well, actually, it's 100%. Very minor differences, but the Super Duty block is different because it has some different. It's heavier duty, has more webbing in the center. There's quite a few differences on a Super Duty block. So.
Hey, Al, curious.
Yes.
What engine lineups were in the first gen Camaros?
Dating back to 67?
Yep. So 67, 68, 69. What engine options did you have?
Did I have?
No.
Or what was available?
Could you get? Could you buy? Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys cut out and came back.
So if you're looking for a 67, 68, 69 Camaro, what engines were available in those years?
67, it went from the 6-cylinder straight up to, the 396 was I think 68. I think they started the 396.
Okay.
And then, then you could have got, there was so many varieties, you could have got aluminum head big block. You could have got, 427. There were so many different varieties that were available right up until 1970. Yeah, it was a 320. Yeah. Well, you could have got the 250. Well, wait, hold on. They had the, not the 250. It was the,
231.
Was it a 231? I'm guessing maybe.
No, that was the older one. Yeah.
I think it was was it a 230 or 231?
There was a 231, but that was back in the 50s.
Okay. So you can literally went from a 6-cylinder to a 327. They had
Oh, you get
it's almost endless from in that
Yeah.
whole span that you just asked. It was almost anything right up to 1970 when you could have got the 54 LS6.
Okay.
Yep.
You know, and then I don't know if you know,
Yep,
Chevrolet
307.
also. What's that?
307.
307. Yeah,
Oh,
69.
307, the 302, 327, the 350. It was just so many. It's almost like what didn't they make that
Yeah.
back then? They made almost every cubic inch, but they stopped with the big motor. The 454, the LS6, in the 70 Chevelle. They also sold Chevrolet. Also made an LS7, but you couldn't
Yep.
buy it installed in the car. You had to buy it over the counter.
Okay.
And
And
a
those
quick
are
story-
super rare.
I bought 2 of them from Chevrolet, and one of them right out of the box, I threw it in. I had a 1969 Nova right out of the box. I made a pass with that car. The first pass was a 1070 with
Yeah.
with a stock LS7. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
James just mentioned that the other straight 6 was a 235. That's right.
235.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That
Like
was
this
the
car
later
right here
one.
has a 250 in it. This blue Camaro over here has a 250
Yep.
in it.
Nice. Those are tough. Those
Let
are
me tell
actually
you.
really good motors.
The only reason you get rid of them is because you're just tired of it. They don't
Yeah.
die. They just keep going.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I used to build those for strictly like a street stock racing class, and those are tough motors.
Yeah, they really are. They're good motors. This thing's only got like 80,000 miles or 86,000
Wow.
miles.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got no. It was off the road over 20 years. This car. So,
Wowzers.
yeah. So hopefully it'll be back on the road. That car's gonna go for sale. Mr. Wilson will get it probably Monday or Tuesday, and that'll go for sale. Because I have another project to work on. But yeah, I'm sorry to answer your question, Brian. It was just
A lot.
I'd have to write a whole list of all the different ones that they
Yeah,
had. There was so many.
The whole
Chevrolet had
store
a ton
itself.
of motor offerings.
Yeah, there really was a lot. Some of them
Yeah.
made some tons of power too. I mean, some of them really made some wicked power. Pontiacs too. Pontiacs, Buicks too. Buicks made tons of torque. Those motors.
Yeah.
The 45s.
Yeah, the Oldsmobile had that 350 Rocket with a 6-inch
Rocket.
rod. Those were tough motors too.
I got one for you. The Pontiac. What were in the Trans Am? So you had a 79 Trans Am, you said, Louis?
89.
No,
89.
89 Firebird. It wasn't a Trans Am.
An 89 Firebird. What motors were available? Let's go back to 1978. How many motors were available in the Firebird back in 1978?
Ooh, man.
Weren't they all clipped to the 305 at that point?
Nope. 78.
No?
You can still get a Pontiac. You can get a
400.
400. You can
Yeah.
get a 403
Oldsmobiles.
old. So the Oldsmobile, I think it is. But no, it was 79. Hold on. No, 78. I think was the same way. I'm not best at that.
I think 78. I think 78.
Yeah, 78 was the either or. If it was a manual trans car, you got the Pontiac 400. If it was an Auto Slush-O-Matic, you got the old 403 in the Trans
Awesome,
Am. So now regular base model Firebird, I think you could get. I don't even know. I don't.
Didn't they have a 301 or something like that?
They did a 301. I think that might have been 78, 79, somewhere around there. But it was. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. That's what it was.
I know that. I know that one year had like these crazy motors. I think there was 5 different motors you could have gotten in that car.
Yeah, and then there are some Trans Am's California equipped that were small block Chevy. That might have been 78 or 79 also.
67 Firebird have 5 choices.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, 67 Camaro didn't have much. It didn't have many choices at all. I have to say, I think the Firebird probably had more of a variety, in Chevrolet. But yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, James says that 301 was a turbo motor for the Firebird.
Man, they did that. They did a turbo version and a natural. But even the
They both-
301 turbo was a slug. But I mean, it was still a neat engine. The idea was cool. Just that wasn't the one that put it on.
No.
Yeah. And Buick did it in their car, in the Grand National, the T-Type.
Yeah, but they got it right by then. She had a 6-cylinder blowing the doors off a Corvette. They were upset about that. So,
Oh, yeah. Yep. And then they came out with the GNX, Grand National Extra. That thing was a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I remember when that car came out, my buddy went to the dealership. He was like, I want to leave a deposit on this car. And he's like, I don't have a car. He's like, you're going to be getting it. The guy didn't want it. The salesman didn't want to take the deposit. My buddy convinced him into taking it. He took the deposit, and he was one of the guys that got one of those GNX cars.
Wow. Lucky bug.
Yeah. So that's my Buick story.
And I'm sticking to it.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I think we've had a pretty good show tonight. We're at that hour mark.
What?
And it's like 9:30 back there or something.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's sleepy sleep time. I need my
Nighttime.
Beauty sleep.
It was a real pleasure, sitting with you guys and talking.
Absolutely. And if you guys have not subscribed to Al's channel, check it out. It's Keep It Simple Garage. We'll throw a
Do
link
it.
up in the comment section later. And
Send me your cars.
Yeah, send him a picture of your car. He'll throw it up on his videos.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how do you want those delivered, Al? You want them emailed or?
You can email Mike right on the bottom. My email is keepitsimplegarage@gmail.com.
Okay.
Okay.
And you can see right on the in the bottom of the video. Just send me two. Because it could get crazy. Send me two. You can send it before and after. You can send, hey, even if you bought the car the way it is, hey, I bought this car just like this. I just had it delivered, or I bought this car 30 years ago just like this. I'll post it.
Sweet.
Cool.
I'll send you a picture of where I was when I got all the rust off it.
Before and after.
I didn't see. I saw your car. I saw a little bit. I didn't see the whole video. I saw you taking the car out for a ride, and now I know to go back to see the car at the beginning and stuff like that. Like I say, this YouTube is fairly new to me. So I'm just catching up on some of your bills, like you guys, and it's tough because you guys put a lot of cars together, and you dabble in a lot of different things. But but thank you very much for
Absolutely,
for inviting
man.
me onto this. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So remember, guys, next Firebird show or next Firebird or we need a name for this thing. Will be July 11th. So don't be looking for us until then.
Yeah.
We need some kind of clever name. If you guys have a name for this, we don't want to be so Firebird. Maybe kind of open it up to let other people. I mean, because let's find out. So if you guys have ideas, shoot them over to us. We'll kick them around, see what happens.
I would call it Rusty Relics, but I'm not sure we're talking about the cars or us. So
Thanks, John. Thanks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sheesh.
I know not what you
die all this.
speak
I
of.
could die it now. Thanks.
It's crazy. I bet you I'm the oldest guy here.
Louis the baby then.
Louis the baby.
Definitely.
What are you, 29, Louis?
Me?
We don't have to
I'm
divulge our age.
44, buddy.
Oh, 44. Okay. Well, you look like you're 29.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Joyce paid me to say that.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Thank you.
How old are you, Al?
I'm still in my 50s, if you had to guess.
52.
People think I'm 65. So it's so funny. Somebody, I don't know. It was my birthday. My birthday was in April. And I'm like, oh, it's my birthday, blah, 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 whatever. And somewhere along the line, somebody's like, hey, happy 65th birthday, Al. And I'm like, I don't know if I made a friend or an enemy. I wasn't sure. So, so I just left it at that. And so I just let it go. And everyone was like, hey, happy 65th birthday, and it's just, I don't know if it's a running joke on me. I don't know. I really don't know.
I'd be shanking that person.
Yep.
What's that?
I'd be shanking that person.
No, that's.
I'll be 52 this year, Al.
I have no feelings. You can't hurt my feelings.
I'll be 52 this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, John.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me your ages, guys, if you don't want to.
No, I just rolled 57.
Dang.
So Mike's closer to that 65 number.
Yeah, I'm closer. I'm pushing 60.
Right.
That's my wife keeps
59.
telling
I
me.
think John is a second youngest, right, John?
I'm almost a baby here. This is kind of nice.
Wow. I'm 59. I'm 59 years old.
59. Hey, God bless you. You're good.
Yeah.
I'm working at this new company, and I got this whole group of young guys, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, these kids, I'm like, all right, all you idiots, look at me. I said, raise your hand if you know who Ted Nugent was. Not a single person in the place knew who Ted Nugent was. I'm like,
Okay.
I gotta leave.
Is that a new chicken nugget at McDonald's?
Hold on.
Dang it.
All right. I got to ask you this, you know, and then I'll keep my mouth shut for the rest of how many minutes you're going to stay on. All right. You know, when you're working on a 4-speed or whatever, you have the fork.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know why this always pops into my head. Do you remember? I think it was Yogi, you know, like the Yogiisms. You know, he'd always say, when you come to a fork in the road, take it.
Yeah.
Every time I look at a fork, a 4-speed, or whatever, that Yogiism just pops into my head. You know, so if you see me working on a car and I'm working on a 4-speed and I pick up the fork and I start chuckling, you'll know why I'm chuckling.
That's the inside joke.
Take it.
You know,
Take it, Al. Just take it. Just take it, Al. All right, you knuckleheads. I will see you on July 11th for another one of these.
Right.
Where did I see that comment? It was like F Body Fridays or something. I think yeah.
So not F and Fridays, but F Body
No,
Fridays.
Fridays.
no, wait, hold on, guys. You're gonna change. Wait, isn't it Firebird Friday?
Well, yeah, but we want to open it up and have other people.
So now what you're saying is you're willing to change Firebird Friday because you got a first-gen Camaro guy here. Is that what you're doing?
No.
I'm getting ready to start building a 56 Chevy pickup. So, you know, I like the idea.
How about we just call it Run What You Brung? So
There you go.
Run What You Brung.
That's not bad. I like that.
Duct tape Fridays.
yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
There it is.
Duct tape
Thank
Fridays.
you
Can't
very
fix
much for
stupid.
inviting me.
I like that. All right, you knuckleheads. I'll see you July 11th.
Sounds
All
great.
All right, guys.
See
Take
y'all
care.
later, kids.
Later.
Good night.
Okay, guys.
See ya.
All right.
Stay
See ya.
hydrated.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. See
And
you
we're
guys.
off.